Hi, I'm Daniel and this is the tech demo of my rig. I've decided to rig the Anti-Mage. Before I talk about my rig, I'd just like to go over some of the research that I used to get this. First of all, obviously I used the lecture slides, which were a big help and gave me the basic knowledge that I could later further develop and start making my own custom rigs, such as blending bones between the IK and FK, which we'll come to in a little while. Afterwards, I decided to look elsewhere to see how other people started to do their own rigs, which would give me a better understanding and knowledge. I used this website, this channel on YouTube called the Autodesk 3ds Max Learning Channel. And basically this guy goes through a list of tutorials on everything all the basic stuff you really need to know to build a rig. And of course, once I did that, I was free to go and start exploring and doing my own stuff. I'm now going to explain how I manage my scene. First of all, you'll find that I've got my layers toolbar open just there. I like to keep my layers with me at all times. It makes it easier to grab things and it gives you more control without having to move around looking for it up here. So I've obviously got my main layers, bones, controllers, FK bones, IK bones, and my mesh. Other than creating layers, you can also create a selection. This was really good for me when it came to skinning, and obviously I've got my skin bones and my skirt bones, which are at the back there, mainly because I added them at a later date, so I made a new selection for them. And obviously for my controllers, so I click on all that, it highlights all the controllers within my scene. What is something else that you should do is name all your assets. This won't just help the animator out, but also help me out as the rigger too. It'll just be nice to know what everything is, and when, for example, using Reaction Manager, it makes things much clearer to see, like say toe tap or foot controller. It's better than let's say in bone 1, bone 2. As well as say if we open up my IRR keys, you'll see exactly. Yes, and obviously at the very top of my IRR key is the Anti-Mage COM controller, which is this big red controller there, and that's mainly because everything is linked to that. If I was to move that, my spline can move up and down. There is nothing too complex with the interface. The controllers are put in obvious places for whatever it will be controlling. For example, this is going to obviously control the head, that the neck, and obviously the arms. And if I just put my mesh, things are left at reasonable sizes as well for the animator to use and find. I'm now going to go over some of the controllers and features that my rig has, starting with this one. This controller controls the waist, so moving side to side, back and forth. You've also got this controller that controls the hip. So say when you come to wanting the character to walk, this can be used to give it more of an effect. Here I've got the neck controller, which also controls the top half of the body as well. But I'm going to show you something a little bit different for the head. Instead of having a controller we just rotate like the previous controllers, I've decided to create an automation. Since moving the head is a common feature in characters, this makes it much easier for the animator to get. So I'll show you. I've got one that makes the head turn left to right. And another one that goes backwards and forwards, so in a nodding motion. What I like about these sliders as well is everything's more exact, like you're always going to get the same 90-degree rotation. But I suppose one of the bad things about having one of these automations is that it gives you less flexibility. I've also created an automation for the fist, one that makes the fist clench. Obviously, when working with automation, I wouldn't make an habit of making loads of these sliders, as they can take up screen space pretty quick. So if I was going to use one of these sliders, I'd keep it to a minimum. Now for the arm setup. But before we go to the arms, I just wanted to show you the fingers. Basically these finger controllers have an attribute on them that's by altering this attribute to say finger curl, big finger curl. Fingers have the ability to go in. So like the left and fist clench, this allows you to be more flexible on each individual finger. And also the attribute holders instanced on all three of these controllers, which will so it really doesn't matter which controller you decide to use. Now for my blend setup, I have an IK and FK setup here. Just to note that all the bones in red represent IK and all the bones in gizmos in blue represent the FK. At the minute these blend bones are 50% weighting, which means it will respond to both bones on an even level, and as you can see it will always stay in between both of them. However, if I decided to give it a 0% weight, this would then make the bone become more controlled by the FK, the IK say. Now, if I set the blend bone with the weighting of 100%, it will then only be controlled by the FK bone. So we get this. Another useful feature I added onto my rig was these two gizmos there, and basically what this helps, especially when skinning, that it gives the player, the animator, the ability to move the skirt. So whether it's for walking or if it's wind, it can add to the effect. For this foot rig, I decided to use a IIIK foot rig. It basically everything can be accessed really from this controller here, which leaves you with 6 different attributes, such as the toe tap, toe twist, toe lift, toe twist, and the heel lift. The foot, all these foot elements here were linked up using an IK solver, an HI solver. You could blend these feet like the arm of an IK and FK system, but I thought that for the purpose of this character, these the IIIK foot rig worked well. This brings the end of my tech demo. Overall, I think that the rig is fit for purpose and it does everything it would need to for this character. If I was gonna improve on something, I would like to learn more about facial rigging, and if that's something I can research and get better on. Thanks for watching.